Global Times, 10th of November 2022, at Airshow China, China showed off its powerful space tracking radar for the first time. At this year's Airshow China, China's top radar creator showed off what is thought to be the most powerful radar, a vast space monitoring radar. It's about 10 meters tall and got much attention from people worldwide, not just military fans. The SLC-18 Space Surveillance Active Phased Array Radar, made by the No. 14 Research Institute of CETC, China Electronics Technology Group Corp, was shown for the first time. It stood out in the pavilion with its vast and impressive collection of antennas. As low Earth orbit (LEO) satellite technology has improved, satellites that were once only used for gathering information and spying on enemy troops have become essential tools for modern, powerful countries to get information from far away. These satellites generally have a lot of power, are small, and can move around in orbit. They can do thorough, 360-degree, and all-around reconnaissance of hot spots. The No. 14 Research Institute told the Global Times that the radar could look for, track, analyze, catalog, and predict space targets like LEO satellites. It can also get tracking and measurement data for multiple targets. Its main job is to keep an eye on targets in space. Sun Lei, Deputy General Manager of CETC Group, told the Global Times that sensitive equipment or deployments on the ground in many countries often have to move on purpose to avoid the transit time of satellites or take steps to block satellite signals so that they can't be watched by other countries' satellites. To do any of this, you need to know when a satellite is in orbit. However, most developing countries find building the technology they need to keep an eye on space targets complex and expensive. Sun said that in the past, they bought in-orbit satellite data from developed countries, which is pricey and often outdated, making it hard to get first-hand information. Sun says that the SLC-18 radar, a P-band solid-state active phased array radar, mainly monitors targets in space. It can look for and catch LEO satellites and other space targets and track and measure multiple targets. In the past few years, the U.S. has pushed for groups of low Earth orbiting surveillance satellites. No longer just a few big, expensive satellites, they're often made up of hundreds of small ones. For instance, the Pentagon's and ESA Defense Space Architecture Layered Orbit Satellite Constellation Plan calls for many satellites to be in different orbits. The U.S. military wants to send up to 100 satellites into space in the next 5 years. The space monitoring system needs to quickly track and identify objects to deal with the new problems when LEO satellites are constantly launched. This creates new technology challenges. The SLC-18 radar can find satellites from a long way away, identify them, and list them in a database that other equipment can use to determine how to react. Sun told the Global Times that it can also send data from ships to the command center to help people make choices. The SLC-18 can identify things over a large area, so it can quickly record a satellite's orbit and add that information to a database. Based on how the rotation works, it is easy to quickly tell if it is a new type of satellite and what its primary purpose is through comparative research. The radar's outstanding features include working in all weather and times, tracking multiple targets, having a lot of power, and covering a lot of space for searches. It can find LEO targets in a lot of different airspace and a lot of other LEO satellite targets, he said. According to what the school told the Global Times, the SLC-18 radar can keep an eye on satellite targets from all sides and can also survey space targets. It can also measure things very accurately. Using radar tracking data to make an orbit estimate, predicting when a satellite will pass overhead is possible. This gives people on the ground enough time to make decisions and take action. Sun said that the radar is made in China, from manufacturing to chip technology. It also has a modular design, which means the radar can improve based on the need to add more modules. This shows that China has hit a new level of radar development. In the past, space target monitoring could only be done by a strong military power with strong technical capabilities and substantial economic and industrial bases. It was hard for poor countries to have this power, but China is now moving up the value chain. Sun said, the SLC-18 radar uses ground-based space target surveillance that is pretty cost-effective. It can help countries along the Belt and Road Initiative and give situational awareness against LEO satellites.